Her family of 5 recently took a 6-night Caribbean cruise on Harmony of the Seas. Here are some of the things that I found really worked well for me and what kind of things we packed for a family of 5. Our trip started in Ontario. We always drive our family's SUV. We did not book a hotel, we drove straight through the night. I always bring this red accordion file book. I put all of our important items in it, like passport, hotel information, embarkation day papers. I even keep all 5 passports in it. I like to keep any of our receipts, like for gas or any special purchases that we may make on this trip. I also have another slot where I keep all of our travel insurance papers. On one of our recent trips, we discovered Buc-ee's. It is a must-see, over-the-top, amazing mega gas station. We have never seen anything like it before. The kids love to see Buc-ee, but I like to get the roasted cinnamon pecans. The prices are great. It's less than $1 for a slushie, like 50 cents for a pop. It's crazy. There's just so much to do. You can even shop. There is fresh food, you name it, they've probably got it. Buc-ee's is a guaranteed stop on any of our trips where we drive through the states to Florida, and then of course we have to stop on our way home. Finally, after about 22 hours of driving, we have made it to Florida. One of our favorite things and traditions to do is always take our picture at the Florida Welcome Center. When going on a cruise, you should show up the day prior. You never want to make your arrival plan the day of departure. This year, we decided to spend an extra 2 nights in Florida before our departure. We stayed at the Holiday Inn Resort. Unfortunately, I'll do a video later. I do not highly recommend it. Although the facility itself was okay, guest services was way below par. For this vacation, I packed 4 large suitcases and 1 medium. One of the large suitcases I set aside specifically for this time in Florida. I put in Ziploc bags and grocery bags. All the dirty clothes went into a large grocery bag and sat in the car for the week while we were on the cruise ship. As far as the wet bathing suits, they went in Ziploc bags, and I was able to put them back in the suitcase and take them on the cruise ship with us. Once on the cruise ship, I was able to take them out and dry them in our shower in our stateroom. In the suitcase I used in Florida, I also was able to put the flip-flops for the pool and my toiletry bag. Anything I was going to need for the ship and for this part of the vacation. At the Holiday Inn Resort, it is not all-inclusive. However, they do have restaurants on site. But with a family of our size, it's not the most cost-efficient. So to save a few bucks, we went to Walmart and we got a box of cereal, some plastic spoons, and disposable bowls. Our boys seem to love this money saver because when you're in another country, there's a lot of different types of cereal on the shelves. Earlier this year, our family took a trip to Florida and we spent one of the days at Magic Kingdom. We had custom-made t-shirts, so we thought we would go to Disney Springs, look at the Christmas lights, and get more use out of those special t-shirts, as well as I had bought rose gold Minnie Mouse ears. So I wanted to sport them one more time. Also, if you do not want to spend the big bucks at Disney, or your kids are just too young, but you want to get that taste of what Disney's like, go to the Disney Springs. It is free to park, and you can just look at the shops, and you see a lot of really neat things. After 2.5 days of fun, it was time to get back in the car and drive about another 3 hours to Fort Lauderdale. I like to put all of the kids' electronics into one pouch with the chargers so that I can keep a close eye on them. It also helps the items from not falling out of the car when we go to rest stops. At the hotel, I recharged them up and they were ready to go for the rest of the day. On embarkation day, you need to have all of your documents ready. This is when that red file comes in super handy. You need to have your passports, your ID, and you need to have your cell phone with your boarding pass ready to show them. When you first board the ship, there's a few things you can do. You can go swimming, you can go get some food, check out any of the amenities. Something I highly recommend is first going to the kids club if you have children, because you want to get signed up. There could be a lot of kids on the ship and the lineup gets pretty long pretty fast. Also, your luggage will not be delivered to your stateroom right away. It does take a little bit for it to get there. So if you want to do anything like swimming, you need to pack a backpack or a carry-on type of bag so that you have access to it. In our case, we have a young son, so we brought a stroller, which was great because then we could just pile on a few backpacks and we didn't have to lug them all around the ship. It was a pretty big ship. Now, after getting settled in, getting your bearings on the ship, enjoying an ice cream cone, it's time to check out the stateroom. We were so blessed. My husband picked an amazing stateroom. I've never seen one this big before in person. We even had a walk-in closet, which is almost unheard of on a cruise ship unless you're paying thousands of dollars in one of those mega suites. Now the not so fun part, having to unpack all of your luggage. Generally, this is the time where my husband will take our boys out and go play in the water park, maybe take them for a ride on the carousel, just do something to get them out of my hair. I'm gonna start with the washroom. A washroom on a cruise ship is really tiny, so you have to be specific in how you use up your space. I've had to slow this video down, so I'm sorry it's gonna look funny, but I guess I was in a hurry when I took this footage on vacation. But you'll notice here I have suction cups. The very large ones, you can get them at the dollar store. The walls and the door of the shower are a kind of glass, and they suction really great. This works excellent to dry your wet bathing suits at the end of the day. Now, if you do forget your suction cups, that's okay. There's this little bar in the bottom of the shower, at least the room that we had, and it was great. We were able to put my son's trunks on it. Also works really good for putting your foot up there when you need to shave those legs. There were another 2 hooks on the shower that worked well for hanging bathing suits. But again, there was only 3 options then if you did not bring your own hooks. A great feature on the Royal Caribbean cruises is they always have body wash, shampoo, and conditioner in the showers. However, for myself, I'm a little more picky, but for my sons, this was a great option. At nighttime, a stateroom can be really dark, especially in the bathroom. So it's always a good idea to take a little tea light candle with you to use as a nightlight. For anyone traveling with a younger child that cannot quite reach the tap or the toilet but is potty trained, a foldable stool is a great idea. Now, my number 1 bathroom item is obviously the toiletry bag. This is your most important item. In a family of our size, I went online on Amazon and got 2 large ones. There are multiple sections and I label each section. I'm really picky in keeping the bathroom clean, so majority of these items never actually leave the toiletry bag. I just simply hang it on the back of the door in the washroom. I will point out to you some of the items that I pack that are specific for a cruise vacation. These Lax-A-Day packets work great for keeping you regular when you're eating a lot of different foods you're not used to. Constipation is never fun when in a bathing suit. Next is the travel size baby powder. It's great for young kids and any chafing that could happen. Nair is an item that my family likes to always have on hand. I really don't like unibrows, so I enjoy using this. Also, I'm very blessed that everyone in my family is a pretty good tanner. However, one of my sons would occasionally burn out of everyone, so I do bring this along. For these items in particularly, I don't like to pack a large bottle, and to buy it in a travel size bottle, Nair, or after sunburn relief, is really expensive. So to buy the big bottle, have it at home and put it in these reusable travel empty containers you can get at Dollarama is such a great option. As you can see, once I have filled up these travel size containers, I just take my label maker and make a label for each bottle. And you can see here, 2 of them are the same color, so this way I can't mix them up. Trust me, a label is super important. For my number 1 you must pack item, it would be this, an air freshener spray. On a cruise ship, in your stateroom, there is no fan. And let me tell you, it is a small room in general and it is stinky. I travel with 4 boys. Believe me, this little tiny bottle is a lifesaver. This next item is Secret Body Spray. It's a little hack that I would use. Some days it was so hot in the Caribbean and I didn't have a chance to shower before dinner. So to freshen up, I would just spray this all over, and I felt like a new woman when I would get dressed up and go to dinner with my boys. Now, on those days I did have a chance to get a shower before dinner or first thing in the morning, I always like to put baby oil all over me. If you are like me and you do enjoy the sun and you do not burn, it's nice to put this on after you shower. Then, once you apply the baby oil while your skin was still wet, getting out of the shower, you apply some lotion. This allows you to be ready for when you go in the sun. No need to carry tanning oil with you to the beach or on any excursion or to the pool. On any vacation I ever take, I always bring a sponge and Dawn dish soap. I always bring reusable water bottles, and sometimes I'll bring a wine tumbler. Although there is no kitchenette on a cruise ship, you do have your bathroom sink, and this is where I can wash my cups. A common obstacle you will face when on a cruise ship is laundry. Dirty clothes. It is so easy to come across that when you have little children, but there is no washing machines unless you want to pay a lot for the ship crew to do it for you. So I like to bring this bar of Sunlight soap. You can just rub it on the stain and then put it under the water in the bathroom and it will come out. Also, this Tide pen comes in pretty handy. Then you'll see here, I also pack a little container of Tide detergent. It works wonders. You can wash your clothes in the shower or this bathroom sink. And keep in mind, this bathroom sink is super small, but literally all you need is a drop. Now there are also those formal nights on the ship. So I pack suits for my boys and formal dresses for me. But there is no iron. They are banned. You cannot take them on a ship. You will not find them in your stateroom. So this Downy wrinkle spray remover is a great item, and you can purchase this in any travel section at your local Walmart, possibly even the dollar store. As I showed you before when we were looking at the shower, I prefer my own shampoo. So I prefer to use these travel size, fill it yourself kind of bottle. They have a pump on the top. Again, you just go to your local dollar store and you just put your favorite shampoo in them. There is no need to pack a blow dryer, but a hair straightener, yes, they do not supply those. So I found this amazing thermal heated bag that I can straighten my hair on the ship and then just pop it right back into this bag, zip it up while it's still hot. Majority of my hair supplies and products go in my toiletry bags. However, for my hair elastics and hair clips, I pack a lot of them. So I got this awesome little Shein gift bag for free, and it just works so great to collect it all together. So this next hack really helps you out navigating your way around a new cruise ship. This was a much bigger cruise ship than the last one we had been on, and there was a lot more floors, so I wanted to know what was on each level. So I took the time, printed off a picture of each deck, and wrote down what amenities were on them. Then I put it together and just put it on the wall in our stateroom so we could easily access it throughout the week. It can be very overwhelming with all the different restaurants on a cruise ship the size of Harmony of the Seas. Some of them are included with your ship fare, and some of them are an added cost on top. So I took the time, printed out everything that I could eat at, and then I put whether it cost extra money or if it was included. Once I printed these documents off, I stuck them in the red accordion file and I took them on the vacation. Once we were in our stateroom, a well-known fact is they are almost always magnetic walls. So I bring magnetic clips that I got from the dollar store and I just simply put them on the wall so they're accessible for everyone, myself, my husband, and my boys. Another item I also like to put on the walls with these clips are the Adventure Club events of the week. That way we know what time we can drop off the younger kids to the Oceans Adventure Club and know what time we have to pick them up and what the theme of that day is. As well as the teen group paper for the week. It tells us what our older son could be doing and also where we could probably find him at that time of the day on the cruise ship. Another fun hack, with the doors being magnetic also, is decorating your stateroom door. We'll find many other guests on the ship do this. It makes it quick and easy to find which room is yours without having to look at the number. We also found it to be a great way to display our kids' art and crafts that they made at the kids' club. Just inside of our stateroom door, I always put a magnetic notepad with pens right underneath it. It's a great way to communicate with our teenage son, so he knows where we are and we know where he is. The first family cruise we took, our youngest son was only 9 months old. So a couple tips if you're traveling with a baby is buying some toy cleaner. I bought a big bottle and then I put it in this little travel bottle. It's easy to spray down things like their high chair at the buffets and any toys that they may touch on the ship. Another thing I found were these disposable bibs. I just went on Amazon and got all these products. I am not a big drinker, so we never buy the drinking package, but you are able to take 2 bottles of wine on the ship with you. So when we were driving across the border, we went to the duty-free shop. If you are traveling this way or by airplane and you're coming from another country, pick up a couple bottles. You don't have to pay the taxes, and it's a great hack to save some money if you want to enjoy a glass of wine at the end of your day. Lastly, but likely the most important part about packing for a cruise ship, or any vacation for that matter, is your clothes. That is probably the biggest part of packing. When I pack for a family of 5, it takes quite a while and it's usually about a month of prepping and starting to set things aside. How I pack a suitcase is really specific to my family, but here are some tips that I use once I'm on the ship. To organize things, you can see that I use these cute little pop-up cubes. I just get them from the Dollar Tree store. I actually sit them all over the stateroom. That way I can throw things like books I'm reading or any kind of junk that I just don't have time to deal with. I just toss it in there. And with these great portholes, I was able to just pop them up on the shelf. Also, I used them in the walk-in closet that we had. That way I could store all of the socks or underwear, the delicates kind of idea. We were so blessed to have a huge walk-in closet in our stateroom on this vacation. That's not normally the case. And in our boys section of the stateroom, they had these cute little bunk beds with the world's tiniest closet. However, having a 16-year-old son, this is where he kept most of his things, including his really stinky shoes. But even this little closet did not contain all of his items, so we let him use the drawers out in the main part of the stateroom. The little boys stayed with us in the walk-in closet. It was pretty neat at the beginning of the week, but by the end of the week it was getting messy. I was able to use these poles, not really sure what they were for, but they were great to wrap things around. Also, for keeping everything organized, even if you don't have a walk-in closet, I love these pop-up hampers. They are great. I brought 2 because I just knew we would go through one really quickly. And as the week went, I would dump the dirty clothes into a suitcase. No need to pack things nice and neat when I know I'm just going to open them up in the laundry room the second I get home from vacation. So I just stuff it all in. When traveling with young children, be sure to pack a life jacket for them, especially if you're going to the beach or on an excursion. They only supply them when you're on the ship. It is always a great idea to tip the workers on the ship as the week goes. But at the end of the week, we always like to do something a little more special. We usually bring a family thank you card with our photos on it. Something that is super essential on a cruise ship is packing a first aid kit that has all kinds of things in it. Usually we travel to countries like the US and we can grab anything we need at Walmart. But when you're on a ship, you do not have access to the local CVS or Walgreens. And if you can find Advil on the ship, it's going to cost probably 4 times the amount. So be sure to pack everything you need. And if you have kids, make sure you pack children's Tylenol or Advil, Benadryl, even stuff for motion sickness. The last item that I want to talk about is jewelry. I don't often travel with much jewelry, very little, and it's also a high risk to travel with jewelry. But this trip in particularly, I went online and bought a travel jewelry box. I absolutely loved it, and I highly recommend it. I hope you have enjoyed hearing about what works for me, for my tips, tricks, and hacks when traveling on a cruise ship. Happy travels!